Hey.
Hey.
What's happening?
What's going on?
Oh my goodness. Everything going on. Everything is going on.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we live with
we're not.
With the happenings. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it feels good. How y'all feeling, people? How y'all doing? Did last week's snow get to you?
I mean, that was foul.
Ah, man. Look, right when you can't count Chicago weather out. That's one thing.
This is fall spring too.
Yeah, this is some winter 3, you know?
Yeah.
Shit, like God, dog.
This is the second time this spring that we've been spoofed.
Yeah. I mean, do we have a spring?
No.
Ain't no damn spring in Chicago. Ain't no such a thing. Ain't no such a thing. We just go hot to cold to hot. You know, that's all we do. But we got a fun episode today, chock full of information. But also this week is our getaway week. Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about it, but
we out of here.
Yeah, we out of here, y'all. We'll talk more about it after the break. But 77 Flavors of Chicago, let's get it.
It's Sarah.
And it's Dario.
And we traveled through all of Chicago's 77 community areas. We shared some great stories and took you to our favorite restaurants.
But you know what? There's more Chicago history and food to discover.
So join us as we connect you to the greatest city in the world.
You know why? Because this is 77 Flavors of Chicago. Hey!
You thought I wasn't going to come through with the remix, didn't you?
No, I'm glad you shoot.
Are
Chicago's
you?
known for remixes. We here, y'all. Another great week. I hope y'all had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Yeah.
I did have a good weekend. I hung out with my sister, who's dog sitting for us while we're gone.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we need that.
I spent money I should not have been spending.
Hey, look, it's all for the greater good.
So to make up for that money, go ahead, download this episode and send it to someone you like so they could also download it. So
send it to everybody.
Or maybe, you know what you should do? You should spam everyone you hate and just send the episodes to them.
Yeah. Yeah, do that. Just,
you don't
forget the haters, man. Just send it to the people. Just send it to anybody. Just airdrop. Just turn your airdrop on for everybody, and then just start airdropping this bad boy in the people lap. You know, we trying to 102,000, right? We trying to get to 105 real quick. Anyway, enough of that.
How was your weekend?
It's great. You know what? It's busy. I ain't gonna lie. Been stressed. We've been trying to prep
and
for.
You're not a easily stressed person.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. And that's why. But you know, I'm taking this in stride because I know the light at the end of the tunnel is our vacation. Yeah. So
you randomly will hear Dario in the office go, "Fuck."
Yeah, that's when it takes forever to render or a file ain't there.
Something crashes.
Yeah, right. Computer
and audio's not working.
Look, boy, that audio send your boy through the roof. Yeah. I'll be one.
That's your arch nemesis.
That is. It really is.
Audio's your arch nemesis.
It really is. Yeah. I believe that. I truly believe.
Byron, where are you at? We need audio.
I mean, the funny thing is, I got a lot of audio. It's just without a dedicated person. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen.
It's hard to watch audio while we're recording. Hold on.
Yeah. You say, hold on. Had to put the dog in the cage.
You know what time it is?
Yeah. But no,
to play.
Yeah. But you know, we've been just pumping it. You know what I mean? Like with the videos and everything.
You know how we do.
You know, pumping it with the videos.
Sans videos.
But yeah, we there. But enough about that. Let's get into today's episode because today is pretty dope. Today's episode is pretty dope.
That is the shortest intro.
This
4 minutes.
That was pretty short.
Let's talk about some other shit.
You said pump it, y'all. Yeah. I can tell you what we can talk about. You probably heard the ad already, but Dion Chicago Dream. Dion has his competition.
If you skip past the ad.
Yeah, right. Here we go.
Got you.
Yeah, right. But he has his fundraising competition where he is trying to raise $1 million within 1 year to feed 1,000 people.
Well, he's trying to raise $1 million in a few weeks.
No.
To last the year.
Right. Well, whatever. Yeah, a month. Yeah, that's right. He's trying to read for a month. See, that's my Sarah here. But anyway, he's trying to do that, right? He's trying to raise $1 million. And he has this team concept. So you could do teams, you could do individual, you could do, I don't know what else the other combination would be, but we have our team, 77 Flavors of Chicago. We lagging behind y'all, so we need the people to come through. Just don't.
We can win prizes as teams.
You can win prizes as a team. If a team win, I don't know. I can't remember what the big prize is.
One is like a billboard in the city.
Imagine, wouldn't that be cool?
Imagine us and a bunch of random people on a billboard.
Hey, we'll
don't
do
you
it.
Want that?
Yeah, right. We're trying to flex all over the city.
You know?
So just let's if
Team
we
77.
if we can get all of our listeners, go ahead, donate. Whatever you can. At the end of the day, I know it's competition. It's for a great cause. So Dion is he's moving 450,000 pounds of food since he's started this. I believe is in about almost 30 different neighborhoods across the city.
Yep.
Doing just a ridiculous amount of food. Food per week for people. So let's keep it going. The dude is trying to do.
And you also get a newspaper ad, team trophy, and Dion Chicago Dream swag.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Pretty dope. So yeah, go ahead. You can go to feedthedream.com.
No, not Feed the Dream.
What is it? Look at us messing up. It's
feedthedreamfund.com
or
fund the.
Lord have mercy. Read it. What is it?
Feedthedreamfund.com.
Okay, all right.
And then if you do backslash 77 flavors shy, that is our team.
It's a mess. Just we better at fundraising than it may seem. No, but that's pretty dope. Yeah. Anyway, forget it. Let's just get with the episode.
I mean, now you're the one talking.
Yeah. Well, you stopped me the first time. You said that was the shortest intro ever.
I was just making jokes.
Yeah, we about to get another roadcaster. I don't know why I just thought about that right now, but
we are.
Yep. Just told everybody, so now it's gonna happen. Anyway, today
how that works.
We are talking about Chicago theater.
Yeah, buddy, but not any theater.
Yeah, not any theater. You know what's really cool is this was Sarah's thought of the idea. She came up with it. We both come up with ideas for what we want to talk about, but this was Sarah's. And
it was something that caught my attention. We often have things like, oh, "Did you know this?" And then we like talk about the subject, and then if it's interesting, we do an episode on it. So this one is actually. I randomly, I'll just like look up things in Chicago history, and Balbin and Katz you learn about them in a second.
Yep.
But basically, it's not just it's not play theater, right? No. It's like these movie theaters,
right.
And they are really ingrained in our history here in the city. But most people don't know that they're walking around with these theaters all around them. So,
I think that's what the coolest part about it is. Like, there's some theaters that are made by Balbin and Katz that you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
For example, the Laugh Factory.
Right.
The Laugh Factory. And I performed there. I've been performing there for like the last about 7 years.
Right.
About 7 years. Had no clue that was a Balbin and Katz.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely insane. But there's a whole bunch more. And the things that they did. The things that they did were fantastic.
It really was like a revolution of that genre of movie,
the theater
of entertainment.
Theater. Yeah, right.
And we're better.
Yeah, right, right. We're better. Chi-Town. Yeah. Oh, that sounds so corny. In Chicago. It's Chicago. No, no, but Chicago. Of course. Chicago's at the forefront of it.
So actually, what I did in order to get someone on the episode to talk about this, because we could do our own research, but we thought it would be fun to have someone on to talk about the topic. So I actually reached out to one of our good friends at the Chicago Architecture Center. And
hey, shout out to the Chicago Architect Center.
I said, hello, do you have any contacts that could know anything about the Chicago theaters, specifically Balbin and Katz? And Hallie was so generous, and she sent us a bunch of people, and we picked Robin. Robin is a docent for the Chicago Architecture Center, and she was super nice.
She does 11 different tours.
Yeah.
Something
it's
like that.
Wild. She knows so much. I can't wait to take one of her tours. Like we promised, once the weather gets good, because she does walking tours. So we want to take a bunch of her tours, and we're really, really excited. So shout out to the Chicago Architecture Center for helping us connect, and we can't wait for you to hear all about this.
Let's get it. Robin, you up. 77 Flavors of Chicago.
So you've been a docent for the Architecture Center for 24 years. Well, 25 this year. Yep.
That's wild. And you specialize in theaters?
Not real. I mean, I do at this point like 11 different walking tours.
11 different walking
Yeah,
tours.
yeah, and I don't do the boat.
You're
Everyone always
fit.
says,
You're
"Do you
very
do the?"
fit.
I'm pretty fit.
Yeah.
Yes, at certain times of the year.
The winter months is
Right.
Same.
But no, I do a wide variety. I do. You want to hear? I mean, I can tell. So there's certain tours that leave from the our center, which is at Michigan and Wacker. Little plug. Right? So from the center, I do historic treasures of the Golden Age, I think is the official name now, which is basically Michigan Avenue and State Street. And then one of our Art Deco tours, Riverfront Deco, and the L, which is
we wanted
really
to take
fun.
that one, but
Yeah.
they said it's not happening right now. Or not, maybe that's the one. We wanted to take the Pedway,
yeah,
and
the
that
Pedway.
wasn't happening.
Oh yeah,
and they said-
Pedway's
yeah, they
okay.
said
Yeah, no, L is fun. That's a
Yeah.
fun one.
Yeah.
I do Graceland Cemetery,
We'd love to take
Uptown, and then we have about 12 or 15 individual building tours,
Oh,
which is like 1 hour just in
on the
one building because there's like that much.
that's crazy.
So I do Union Station, Board of Trade, and Palmer House.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you might be a repeat
Yeah,
guest.
yeah,
There.
yeah.
So I could be.
Yeah, we definitely, it's on camera now. So.
Yeah, right.
So
Yes.
So we wanted to really talk about, and maybe I'm mispronouncing
Yeah.
this. How do you pronounce the architecture for, or is it's not an architecture?
They're the
design,
developers.
The developers.
Well, Balaban and Katz.
Balaban and Katz. I
Yes.
don't know why I wanted to. My
Yes.
logic is saying Balaban, but it's not. It's Balaban.
Balaban. But as a company, they were called B&K.
Right. B&K.
Okay.
Right. So they built quite a few theaters around the city.
Yes.
Right. Some
yes,
are
yes.
still there. Some have been demolished.
Right. Right.
And you've done tours in some of those
Yes.
theaters.
Yes.
So let's maybe start talking about who they are. And
Yep.
let's start there.
So Balaban and Katz were the developers, and they had their architects who worked with them was two brothers, Rapp and Rapp. So we'll talk about Balaban and Katz if you want to know more about the architects themselves. That we can talk about that too. So Balaban and Katz, there were 7 Balaban brothers,
Oh wow.
and the family grew up in the Maxwell Street neighborhood.
Okay.
On the near west side. So I think it was their parents had been like Russian Jewish immigrants because that's what that neighborhood was.
Yeah.
So there were 7 brothers, and then a friend of theirs, Barney, Sam Katz, was like the Katz of Balaban and Katz, and he wound up marrying their sister.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
So kind of keeping that in the family.
Yeah.
Wow.
All in the family.
Right. And their first theater was the Central Park Theater in 1917, and that's also kind of near West Side, which is now a black church. And they have a lot. Yeah, look that up.
Yeah.
They have a great. They're looking, for grants and so on to help with the rehab and all that.
Right.
And they have a lot of folks. It's been on Open House Chicago, and they talk about it, the history and all that, which is really cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
So that was their first theater, and they're really viewed as one of the sort of inventors of the movie palace. And different, like New York has their person that they say we invented it, kind of like with the skyscraper, but basically. And then eventually they had, I'm looking at my notes slightly, 36 theaters in Chicago.
That's crazy.
And a few hundred more in the couple of hundred in the surrounding suburbs and the rest of the Midwest.
So they're the only ones doing theater.
Well,
There were some others,
they're
but
movie theaters. They're not necessarily like play.
correct. They were movie
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
And some of them they had built by Rapp and Rapp, designed. Others they wound up acquiring a few years later from others. But people knew B&K, like it would even be on the marquee a little bit. And I could talk about, you tell me kind of what order you want to go in. Again, because
You're the expert.
well, you'll edit, right?
Yeah.
So, well, no, I'm trying to think how to organize it. Because part of their thing that made them so successful they had this 5-point strategy that they used. All right. So the first thing was the location. And so their theaters were always on public transit lines, which at the time would have been streetcars.
Right.
But not just, gee, there's a stop here, but it's a pretty major transfer point.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was one
lot of
thing.
traffic.
A lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
could get
Yeah.
there easily.
Yeah.
And as you may know, like most neighborhoods had their movie theater
Right.
Right. Yeah.
that people grew up with and know and so on. So the first point is the location. The second is the very elaborate and ostentatious look of the
Right.
theater.
Right.
And one of their slogans was, "The show starts on the sidewalk."
Oh.
So even before you're walking in and seeing the gorgeous lobby, like the
Right.
outside has a lot of terracotta and the signage, and then even there's 2 kinds of marquees on a movie palace,
Okay. I never.
and the lighting and so on. Yeah, so it's all about this idea of like you're being transported elsewhere.
Got you. So
Um,
that's why, like, you see, like, the light bulbs and all that kind
Yes.
of stuff
Right.
out there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
to attract attention. And the the marquee is over the entrance,
Right,
and
yep.
on the 3 sides it would have what's playing
Right.
now, and then what's called either the vertical or the blade sign would be the letters vertically spelled out perpendicular to the building,
Yeah.
so that if you're coming on the street,
You can see.
you would see it kind of from a block
Oh,
or 2
wow.
away.
That's so much thought. Like,
I know.
So much thought. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
and then with the lighting,
Yeah.
which you mentioned, there's what they call there's chasers and tracers.
Okay.
So chasers is when you see the sign and it looks like the bulbs are going around,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
which they're not really going around. They're turning
Lighting.
on and off at certain intervals
Yeah.
to
Right.
make it look like they're chasing each other.
Okay.
Chasers, and then tracers would be like neon tubes that spell out the letters of the name.
Okay.
Like now the Nederlander, or what was the Oriental, each letter is
Yeah.
traced
Right.
out.
Now
So
I cannot see that.
Yeah.
Now. Like,
Can't
Right, you
recognize
can't
that.
I'll always be looking at that now. I'm like, I know what that is. That's
Yeah.
a tracer.
Right.
That's
Right.
Okay.
right.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the whole like fantasy, doesn't matter what movie we're showing because
Yeah.
it's gorgeous anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Um
Nah, that's-
and then let's see here. Let me
Did that like decorative style outside the theater exist before they started doing it, or was that
not
something-
really,
Okay.
not really. And I can talk a little bit about like why is this different than what happened before?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the very first places where they showed moving pictures,
Mhm.
not yet called,
Right. Yeah.
you know,
Movies.
you had like Nickelodeon, right?
Mhm.
Where it was one person looking in to a machine,
Yeah.
and it would be like a 30-second little film of a horse galloping by or a train, and they were like amazed, and then
That's so
and then they started once they figured out like a bigger screen,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and maybe the screen is like the size of that window,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
huge.
Yeah.
They would set up chairs somewhere and like show these. And a popular, you'll probably like this, a popular place to do that was in funeral homes.
Oh,
wow.
no! What?
Because they lent themselves to, it's a big room, we
Yeah.
have a lot of chairs,
Right.
we can put the screen at the front,
Yeah. Quiet.
right.
Right.
Yeah. And
Silent.
so that was kind of the early, a bunch of people watching a movie together. And then over, let's say 10 years through the early teens, they became kind of seedy. And Balaban and Katz were the ones who really raised the bar for this is now an okay thing to do.
Right.
Because before it was kind of a little creepy. I'm sitting next to strangers in the
I don't know.
dark.
Yeah.
Like, this is weird. So for them, it was we're making it beautiful. It's safe.
Mm.
So it's that whole,
So they really had
You know,
a
the
vision.
look.
Like they
Oh,
really
yeah.
took
Yeah.
that
Totally.
and like ran with it.
yes,
Wow.
That's-
yes.
I've never even
What
heard
did they
of
do
that.
Yes.
before they
Right.
started the theaters?
They were young when they started them,
Oh,
but
yeah.
one of the brothers had worked in a cold storage facility, and kind of knew about early technology for air conditioning, and that was one of their 5 points in their strategy. Was the theaters were air conditioned, which was huge.
Yeah.
And they had, even as part of their logo for many years, like a penguin and an icicle show. And doctors at the time would tell pregnant women and people with breathing issues, go to the movies.
Go see a movie.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And they were like the only ones who were open year round because it was too hot to sit there if it wasn't.
They changed the game.
So,
really.
totally, yeah.
They created.
Yes,
They were the
they
game.
did.
Yeah.
They did. They
Wow.
were. So another one is the impeccable service. So another one of their sort of slogans, or more internal than for the public, but like every patron should be treated like a king or queen. And these movie palaces were one of the only places in the city or society where you would have people from different socioeconomic groups all in the same building, but nobody was working for somebody else.
Right.
And so they had all of the ushers were in military uniforms,
Wow.
except at the Oriental where they wore like turbans and puffy pants. But many of
It
them.
was called the Oriental when it opened?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that was a
wow.
very popular name for
yeah.
theaters because Oriental meant anything exotic,
Right.
basically,
And-
and it wasn't pejorative.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
That had to change because
Right. No, I understand why it had
Today's
changed,
time.
but I was just curious
Right,
how long
right.
it held that name for.
Right.
Oh,
If
it
was
held
like-
it until 4 years ago.
right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there's an Oriental theater in many different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the service was like amazing. And the men all had to be, like they're all men, of course,
Right.
between 5'10" and 6'1". And they had, and here's you won't see this on the podcast audio, but this is like the different uniforms of the
Oh,
different
wow.
ushers,
Interesting.
depending on where they were in the theater,
Yeah.
kind of
Wow.
thing.
So suits or
Oh yeah, like almost uniform,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a British, butler or
right.
something.
And now, what time frame are we talking?
Yeah.
Like we're talking early 20th century.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
So-
1917.
The reason why I
Yeah,
ask that is
yeah.
because you think about early 20th century. We got the Black Metropolis is starting to form,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
yes.
And then the Black and Tan,
Yes,
clubs
I know that.
are
Yes.
happening at the same time.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
that was a big mixture happening
Right.
at the same time. 'Cause
Yes,
That was,
yes,
and then you got this kind of mixture with just different classes of people.
yes, yes.
So that's an
Yes.
interesting time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was also the sort of upper classes. They would get, Balvin and Katz would get letters from rich people saying, can we please reserve seats and we'll pay more, it's fine. And they refused,
Wow.
they would not allow it.
Oh,
They
good.
never had reserved seats. It was, you
First come,
come
first
in,
served,
you're
yeah.
seated. So that's kind of cool
That is
also.
really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that was,
I would assume
Yeah.
a lot of people that started things like this in the city that were immigrants understood that struggle
mhm.
of being
Yes,
out,
yes, yes,
like
yes.
outside
Yeah.
of society.
Right, out
So
totally.
yeah,
Yes.
so it makes
Yes.
sense that they would not be okay
and
with that.
especially over there. I mean, that's Little Italy. You know what I mean? Like,
Now.
now,
Yeah.
now. I mean, like, and
Right.
you got Jane Addams who was doing her thing. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah,
you have a lot of like that
Right.
immigration, like kind of like power happening right there all at once.
Yes.
So, yeah, you're
yes.
right, yeah.
And each of their theaters all around the city were in the different ethnic neighborhood. I mean, downtown they had the Chicago Theater, the Oriental, now Nederlander, the Cadillac Palace, that was theirs, plus two
Oh,
others
really?
on State
Oh.
The
Street.
Cadillac?
Yeah, they bought it. They didn't have it built, but they
Oh, yeah.
acquired
I was gonna
it like
say-
in the 30s.
Okay.
Is there something? Is there something about one like going into these theaters now?
Mhm.
Can you tell if it was something they built or something they acquired
Oh.
just from what like the design style or something?
Not
like
really, not really. But asking about design style, if I may read two
Yeah.
quotes
Yeah,
that I
please
think
do.
are very fun.
Yeah.
So at the time, we had the public like loved this
Yeah.
because especially the working people, like
Yeah.
they're toiling, 6 days a week,
Right.
whatever.
Take the load off.
And everybody went to the movies. Like
Mhm.
in the 30s, it peaked. Like the average adult would go to the movies like 35 times a year. I mean, it was like
Wow.
all the time.
that? Wow.
And granted, there was a lot less competing for your
Mhm.
Yeah,
leisure
right.
time and dollars, but everybody went, and so people liked it. It was fun. It was interesting. It was different. So here's a quote from Thomas Talmadge, who was an architecture critic, who actually coined the term the first Chicago school when you talk about skyscrapers and architecture. But he said, quote, "No more pitiful degradation of an art has ever been presented than the prostitution of architecture that goes on daily in the construction of these huge buildings, taste and style abased to the lowest degree."
Wow.
Okay.
That's harsh.
Right, because it wasn't academic, like Rapp and Rapp, who were the house architects, they were fine doing what B&K wanted.
Yeah.
So, this is going to look like Versailles,
Right.
The Oriental, which combines like things from India and the Middle East and China. Like, but who knew? Like, if you're a factory worker sitting there, it just all looked really interesting. So the official architecture intelligentsia, they didn't like this.
Of course, the gatekeepers don't.
Right.
So of course they
Then here's from a book called American Picture Palaces, Architecture of Fantasy by David Naylor. No buildings as a group have been so audaciously romantic, blatantly derivative, wonderfully original, as loudly hyped by owners, totally reviled by architecture critics, and well attended by the local population.
So basically, everybody was like, "No, the architects just they didn't think of it."
Or that it's just too much.
Different. It's just too different.
It's too much. It didn't follow the rules.
Right.
I mean, that's
crazy.
That's absolutely crazy. When you think about all this, like right now in today's times, like it just came out a couple weeks ago. By the time you listen to this, AMC is about to start charging for seats.
Right.
I
saw that.
And you know me, I was like, this has never been done. And we were close to it almost.
For movies.
Movies. You know what I mean? Like, so like think about how times have just changed with the movies. It went from like something that was amazing, like brand new, and now people don't even go to the theater.
Right.
I know.
Well,
I mean, you don't go to a movie theater.
I know.
Theater.
I do, but
we just
do.
went.
Yeah, we do. Like, I mean, that's an art.
Totally.
It's an entirely different experience than watching a movie.
If I was a director, like I'd want to know, am I making this product for people who are going to be sitting in a theater watching it on a giant screen, or on their couch watching it in 3 pieces over the course of a week, and whatever? Because it would be very different visually. The audio, all of it.
Everything would be different.
Could you imagine having those folks that went to the first movie theaters today?
Right.
Like, could you imagine like what they thought? You said you watched the Nickelodeon for 30 seconds or 30 minutes, whatever.
Right. They would get dressed up. I mean, people would be, with ladies in gloves, the whole,
that was a thing.
Kind of like a theater experience now.
Yes. Yes, totally.
Wow.
And speaking of theater or live entertainment, shall we say? So the 5th element of their strategy, so it was the location, size and opulence of the building, the air conditioning, the service, and then they had live stage shows and organists.
Wow.
So they were not part of the studio system.
Okay.
So again, as some people know, so for the first several decades of Hollywood, you had the studios owning movie theaters. So Paramount films were premiered in Paramount theaters, United Artists, etc. And Balaban and Katz were not part of that. So they did not get like the best movies immediately.
Right.
So they came up with this idea of having the live entertainment in between the movies. And so a lot of times people didn't even care necessarily what the movie was, because they're going to the really cool building and they're seeing a show in a way. So they would they'd be open from like 11 in the morning till 11 at night.
Holy cow. And
people would come and see like the show and then the movie, and those folks would leave and the new people would come, like all day kind of thing.
Wow.
So here there's a list. I'm looking here at famous people. And again, if you're of a certain age, you will know these people. If you're not, you won't.
Picture up.
But you'll know more. And then how those changed, who the acts were. So one at the Oriental in 1934, the Gum Sisters were a singing act. And the youngest was Frances Gum, who we now know as Judy Garland.
What?
Wow.
So she sang with her, they had an act and they performed at the Oriental.
Wow.
Judy Garland?
1934.
Wow.
Um,
Well, that kind of makes sense when you think about Wizard of Oz. You know, like
Right.
he was
she would have been a young teen
Yeah.
at that point.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's like anybody who's anybody. I'm looking at some pictures here. George Burns and Gracie Allen, the Three Stooges,
Wow.
Danny Kaye and Duke Ellington are
Oh,
in
yeah.
the picture
Right.
here. Cab Calloway, Al Jolson. I mean, like, and sometimes the stars of the film would be there.
Oh, could
Wow.
you imagine,
Okay. Can
you imagine?
going to a movie and then the
Right.
stars weren't?
How much did it cost to
Right.
go to see a movie like
not
in
a lot.
1920?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me think. When the Uptown opened in 1925,
Mm-hmm.
and Saturday night was 75 cents.
Wow.
Come on, now it's like $75 just to get in.
Yeah, right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, people were making what, like $40 a month?
Right. Yes, I
don't
guess
know.
Right.
75 cents. Yeah, that's a
Right.
okay.
Right.
We
And
were
that was
married.
Saturday night. They did do sort of, I'll say, creative or clever price because Saturday night was more expensive than, the Wednesday matinee
Right.
or whatever. So they did that. So you had like the big stars, and they also did have organs in the
Okay.
theaters. And the Chicago theater had 2 organs, and there was a husband and wife team that
Oh,
played the
wow.
organs. So
Oh,
they were
wow.
like
Wow.
famous,
That's how they battled.
that.
They took it out to the streets, let the people decide.
Right,
Taking it
right.
home.
Yep. And then you had the audience demographics changing.
Oh yeah.
So in the 70s, some of the acts that were at the Oriental downtown, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Little Richard. And so that kind of led to, like, we can talk about, it's a little depressing, but then the decline of,
Right.
the movie
Yeah,
palaces,
of course,
et cetera.
because that's at the end of the Great Migration. I'm sure people had to deal with blacks coming up here in the first place, and now they're in the
Right.
theaters. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so much-
And
yeah.
also kind of the decline of the loop, as
Right.
well as the downtowns of like all major cities
Right,
in the
right.
country.
Yeah.
But it was really after World War II, the exodus to the suburbs.
People
So
went to
people
move to the
didn't have to
suburbs.
come downtown. But I mean, suburbs have movie
Right.
theaters, but and then also TV
Right.
in the
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah.
Right.
So it didn't kill it. I mean, of course, it's sort of like
just
now,
changed the shit.
right? It's not like movies went away.
Right. The priorities change.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and this lines up with
The
everything we're saying.
demand change.
Chicago peaked at in the 60s, 3.6 million people.
Yes,
You know what I
right,
mean? And
right,
then, like, we talked about that just a few episodes ago
Mhm.
about how
Yeah.
everybody started. They almost took away
Yes.
the loop. They were
Right,
talking about
right,
taking away the
right,
loop,
right.
the L line. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like, so,
yes.
like, we're going through a lot as a city
Yeah.
right around that
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you still got like the race relations are happening on the south and west side. Martin Luther King is up here. He just died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot going
Yeah,
on in the
yeah.
city, and then like the way movie theater now, because that movie theaters were a way to bring people together.
Yes,
and
yes.
how has that kind of changed? Maybe I don't know. I'm asking
Yeah.
because like this is
Okay.
interesting to me now because like
Yeah.
now that we know,
Yes.
the timelines and doing the history,
Yeah.
it's like crazy to think about this stuff. Like, how did how is it changing like from the 70s to like now? Do we still
Yeah.
have that sense of like togetherness? I don't feel like it. Like I
I
feel
feel like we might have up until maybe 10 years ago,
yeah,
when now everybody, because entertainment, it was a mass thing,
right,
and everybody saw the
Yeah.
same stuff
Right.
essentially.
Right.
And now it's every
There's so
person,
much.
even within a house, you could have 4 people on 4 different iPads
Yeah.
watching their own thing.
Right.
So it's
People don't even
different.
eat at the dinner table together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it's
Yeah.
all
Right.
different. Like,
Yeah.
that's just
And
crazy.
things
Yeah.
used to come on at a certain time. You would have
Yes,
to watch
yes,
it all the
totally.
time.
You know?
Now you can just stream
Oh,
it
yeah.
whenever you feel like it.
Right,
You know,
right.
so it's entirely different.
Right, because you wouldn't say, "Oh, did you see whatever last night?"
Right.
and talk
right.
about it. Yeah,
I mean, in Chicago, you know, when it comes to entertainment like this, I mean, we're like the capital. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
we at least we deem ourselves the capital. But when you think about,
Yeah.
you know, SNL, and you think about like
Right.
all the
Right.
people who make it in Showtime, they come from Chicago
Right.
yeah,
theater.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
it's like
yes.
I took,
Yeah.
you know, I did improv. You know what I mean? I'm on stage.
Yep,
That's
yep.
theater in a sense. You know?
Yes, yeah.
And it's just crazy to think that like how big of a role this is
Yeah.
in Chicago history. You
Yeah.
know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
It is.
How much did this affect other cities? So
right. That's a good question.
did movie theaters start to pop up
Yeah, when we
around?
rolled around the
Yeah, I mean, there were theaters like the first movie theater was in Pittsburgh, I
Mhm.
think, in like 1909, something like that. And then different cities had, you know, like New York and LA, and
Right.
you know, they had their big old movie
Mhm.
palaces, and like Rap and Rap, the architects. There were a few others that were, you know, did work in other
Yeah.
cities. And Balaban and Katz did have, I want to say, at least 2, maybe 3 theaters in New York
Mm.
as well, in Manhattan.
Yeah.
But they were all, you know, they looked to each other. There were trade magazines.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like when I had
Yeah.
done the research on that paper for the Chicago Theater, I was at the Harold Washington Library,
Mhm.
and they had, you know, like all the back issues
Oh,
of,
wow.
and I don't remember the
Yeah.
name of it, but there were a few different trade journals for theater owners, or, you know, theater
Yeah.
presenters.
Wow.
There
Yeah.
was different lingo a little bit.
Wow.
I
So,
wonder if the
yeah.
Vivian Harsh, you know,
Collection has
collection in Woodlawn has.
Mm.
I bet you because they have a lot of that stuff in their collection where you can't leave the theater.
Right,
Yes,
the
right.
library.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be something fun
yeah.
to look up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah,
It's.
yeah.
I was thinking about the Nickelodeon. Like I've been
Yes.
thinking about the Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Remember the little viewfinder toys?
Yes,
that you put
yes,
That's
totally.
basically Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
Kinda. Like,
Except
Right.
it's
but
moving.
it's
Yeah.
but it's a
That's right.
still photo, right?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
you push the little lever and it goes
these
around.
were still moving though.
These were moving, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting up there. I had a
It's called
Nickelodeon.
it's called
Right.
Nickelodeon because it costs a nickel to
Yeah,
watch. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Right, you'd put it in a.
And how long it last? Was it 30 minutes?
30
30
seconds.
Oh God, no,
30 seconds?
short,
Yeah, yeah.
real short, yeah,
30 seconds.
something like
for a
that.
nickel
And there
just-
might be like 5 of them,
Right.
you know, in
Okay.
a row that you'd
Yeah.
watch, something like that.
Wow. You got 4 minutes.
So it's like
Yeah.
cartoons. It's like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes. It's like
Right.
Looney Tunes.
Like
Right.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
TikTok,
right,
yeah, right. That was the TikTok. There it is.
Oh, that's
Then
so
we
funny.
TikTok started here.
Nothing's
TikTok
new.
was- yeah.
Nothing's new. But it's
Right.
fun when you see, like, you know, if you've seen like old silent movies,
Mhm.
and because they're not talking, like their facial expressions are
Right.
so exaggerated, and
Yeah,
even the makeup they wore, like if you see it
yeah.
not in the film, but what they looked like in real life,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like really
Yeah.
scary. But it's that getting people's attention.
Right.
And people were just amazed sitting in a theater,
Watching this.
seeing like, and then when the talkies were 1927,
Yeah.
so there was, call it 15-ish years of just silent
So-
films. I mean, there was music.
Charlie
playing.
Chaplin was probably big run in
Yes.
right around that
Oh
time.
yeah.
Um,
Right.
and I bet Asanya
Yeah.
Studios was really just going crazy at that point.
Yeah, S&A Studios, which was
S&A, yeah.
which was in Uptown. Yeah, S&A. It's S like letter F. It's
Yeah.
spelled ESSANAY, but it was 2 guys, George Spoor and Gilbert Anderson were S and A.
That's smart.
And yeah, and yeah, they were on the north side of Chicago. So before Hollywood existed,
Yeah, that was
the 2 centers for filmmaking, believe it or not, were Chicago and New Jersey.
Wow.
Jersey.
Because Edison
Ah,
was in
that's
New
right, yeah.
Jersey.
Yep.
And here's a little fun tidbit. I grew up in Edison, New Jersey,
Yeah.
about 4 blocks from where his lab was. I mean, the
Wow.
building wasn't there anymore. There's a monument and so
Yeah.
on. So we all, learn a lot about Thomas Edison when you grow up in Edison.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to. You're right
But,
past
he
it.
had one of the first like movie studios, essentially.
Wow.
Um,
So, of the how many surviving theaters are there of theirs?
I'm going to say a handful. I mean,
Yeah,
I know the Chicago Theater, the Oriental, Nederlander, and Riviera. Although they didn't build it, they weren't the original, but
really?
they got it a few years
What's
after
your
it opened.
favorite of theirs?
I don't know that. I mean, the Chicago theater, the facade is just so iconic.
Iconic.
and if you're standing across the street from it, and you like now, this is another thing I think you won't unsee is it actually references the Arc de Triomphe in Paris.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
First of all, that's a big word. I definitely would have never known that.
Right. Well, here's a picture. I'll just show you, and you can.
Wow.
So here's the facade. Here's the Arc de Triomphe.
What? Yo!
that's so
Y'all got to
cool.
see this. Hold on.
Oh, you're
Look at that. Look at that. Are you? I would have never even known that. Now you can't.
right.
unsee
And
it.
then inside, like the staircase references Versailles. That's what B&K wanted. And this was always their flagship because it's
Yeah.
right downtown.
Yeah.
And this opened in 1921,
So
1921, October 26th.
that's crazy because the L is booming right
Right.
now. That's where you
Right.
know, like
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here's other little factoids. This was a 50-piece orchestra performed in the pit.
That's crazy.
After a white glove inspection, a staff of 125 ushers welcomed the guests.
Wow.
Wow.
And you were asking before about the pricing. It was 25 cents until 1 o'clock, 35 cents in the afternoon, 50 cents after 6 o'clock.
Wow.
That's when it opened
Yeah,
in
yeah.
21.
That's the deal.
That's
Less than
Yeah.
$1 to stay all day.
Right, right.
Stay all day. Just
Yeah,
take $1.
yeah, you could actually, you could.
Probably
And
get a drink. Did they serve food and drink?
no, at the beginning of movie palaces, they did not serve food or drinks because they didn't want to ruin the furniture and what
Yeah.
have you.
It's probably
But
carpet.
On either side, there might be a candy shop,
Oh, okay,
popcorn,
It's smart.
but other little businesses
Placement.
next to it. So yeah, I'm not sure when they started bringing in concessions literally inside, but not at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, there's still not a lot of concessions on the inside of some of these
Right,
places.
right.
Like you go
Right.
to the Chicago theater, I mean, it's not
Right.
a lot
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And also it's not movies anymore.
Yeah. Right.
So that
It's
brings you
actual
to
theater.
what
You're
happened
gonna be
to all
munching
these
popcorn
places.
while you're watching.
Right. Yeah.
Plays.
People need to understand, like, and just take the Chicago theater for
Yeah.
an example. Imagine a movie in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I saw in 2017 they showed Young Frankenstein,
Oh, wow.
and then Mel Brooks was interviewed. He was there,
Wow.
and I took my dad to see it. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So I did
A
see
movie in
that
movie.
movie in there.
It's
Wow.
huge
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there. Like,
yes, it is, and that's why you could tell if it was a movie palace because it's real. It's like wider. If
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
seen
Right.
something in the CIBC theater,
Yep.
Mhm.
the old Schubert,
Yep.
like where Hamilton was,
Uh-huh.
that looks more like a New York Broadway theater, and that was not a movie theater
Right.
because it's very
Yeah.
vertical
Yeah.
Right.
and narrow because everyone's looking
Oh,
down
right.
at the
Right,
stage.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas in a movie palace, everybody had
Yeah.
to see the whole screen.
right.
Yeah.
So in the Chicago, the Oriental, the Cadillac Palace, those are all kind of similar, really good sight lines of the whole big screen, as opposed
that
to
makes sense.
let's all look at the little stage.
I honestly
Yeah.
can't look at theaters the same
Yeah.
anymore. Like, it's just, I mean, like, that's
Right.
so cool. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Man. Like, that Paris
Yeah.
thing, that architecture.
Yes, you like that?
It is identical.
Yeah.
It's like, it's identical. Just, I was a little bit wider, of course, you know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Just,
Yeah, it's similar.
Paris
Yep.
copy. Like, wow.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
has been fantastic.
All right, that was so cool. I like literally the whole time that she was talking, I was like, okay, what else? Okay, tell
Yeah.
us more. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I mean, obviously you listened to it. There were so many different like pieces of things that just make you be like, oh snap, the air conditioner. You
right?
know what I mean?
The Nickelodeon.
The Nickelodeon.
That one like blew my mind.
Yeah.
I already knew that before we went into the conversation because I had like done a little bit of research.
Yeah.
But the amount of information that she gave,
Yeah.
it was wild.
Judy Garland. Come on,
you
now.
know?
Like, come on now.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
What did you think?
Oh, I thought it was great. I mean, like,
Right?
you
Don't you look at these theaters like different?
Yeah,
now?
I mean the chaser lights versus the
Mm-hmm.
neon light. I mean, like all this stuff that now you look at and you be like, man, is that Balvin and Cats. And what is it,
Right.
like 3 or 4, maybe 5 of them that are downtown?
Yeah, there's
know
a
what I mean?
bunch. And I think she mentioned Nederlander.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
previously the Oriental.
Yeah.
Chicago, all.
Yeah,
You,
a lot.
you heard it.
A lot. Yeah, you heard it. It's dope. So, I mean, honestly, next time you go in one of these theaters, especially like the Chicago theater,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Like, just take a look at how that, is shaped. And the fact that the outside of it is like the Tour de Triomphe and in the Arc de Triomphe in Paris.
You said Tour de France.
Yeah, I sure did. I was trying to slide by
Triumph
it too.
Tour.
I tried to slide by it too.
No, I feel you.
But no, y'all go check out next time y'all out here in theater, man. Just see, how it looks on the inside. And now, if you heard it, you can see why it looks that way. So, pretty dope. But while we were down there, we went to Uptown. Actually, we went Uptown.
Correct. So where else?
Yeah.
Like where else would we go?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Other than Broadway.
And right, we've been downtown a bunch. We wanted to go to a new community area that actually has a couple of those.
The Balvin and Cats.
Balvin of Cats. B&K theaters. It is what previously was the Uptown Theater, which is now shut down. The building is still beautiful if you want to go look on the outside. And then we also passed by the Riviera Theater, which is one of my favorites because I went to. It's one of those that you can like. Go to like a $30 concert at the Riviera.
I've never been.
There's like no seating inside. You just stand. Okay. So it's first come, first serve. So you'll see people like line up hours before. Yeah. I went and I saw Black in 2018 with my sister. It was like Thanksgiving. It was a Thanksgiving show. I have no family here, so I was like, I'm not celebrating Thanksgiving. Yeah. So we went and it was like literally we paid $33 and we were row 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I bet you it was dope.
Summer Walker opened. She was supposed to open, but she didn't show up. But it was before she blew up.
Fun fact, this is another... We need to start keeping tally of places that I performed as a comedian. Because on Broadway, right there, almost across the street from Riviera, is the Baton Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
And I hosted a comedy show. It was like a variety show. So then this was just
Where
recently.
have you not performed?
Pretty much in all community areas. You know what?
Yeah, literally.
Let's see if I can perform in all 77 community areas.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Dario's comedy tour, but it's Chicago.
But it's Chicago? Y'all, let's start that GoFundMe up. Yeah. But we ate some fantastic food.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it after the break.
Today, not only did I pick the topic of the, but I also made the food about me.
Okay. Wow. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
Today's restaurant is owned by, or it's a family that owns it, right? It's Danny and his wife. Danny's family is Jordanian.
Hey, hold on. Let me get...
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, if this is your first time listening, I am Palestinian Jordanian.
Hey.
And I grew up in Jordan. I grew up in Amman, which is where Danny's family grew up and where they moved from. He actually grew up in Oklahoma City, but he grew up eating falafel and burgers, right? Which there's not much in common between Midwestern food and Middle Eastern food, I would say.
At all.
So
like at all.
Yeah. But for the way he describes it is that the commonality between the two is that he was served both those things. His comfort food was burgers and falafel, right? Separately, but they both meant something to him. So he thought, why not? Like, this is a cool idea. It's pretty unique. So it's him and his wife, and they wanted to. He's worked in restaurants all over Chicago, so he wanted to open up his own. And yeah, they're fairly new. I think they've been around for just a few months now.
And I feel like they're gonna be around for a lot of more months.
I really think so too, and I really hope so.
Yeah.
They are super nice.
Him
and his wife are always there.
Yeah, I mean,
they are the people that work. That, you know what I mean?
Super nice.
They are open all days except for Sunday. And in the little about me section, he says, if you are craving a falafel or a burger on a Sunday and we're not there, you can just go over to Montrose Beach and we're probably barbecuing. So you might still get a falafel or a burger. So
hey, throw some dollars. I would do that. Look, we're going to get into it, but I would definitely pull up on them. If I saw them and if they are barbecuing, hey, look, man,
I'd be
here's $5, here's $10.
Like, Danny, run it.
Whatever, yeah, for real. Whatever it costs in the store, I'll pay that. Yeah. I'll pay that out here on the stand. Promise
Honestly.
you that. The food is fantastic. One thing about the fact that it was like Amon Jordan, the family's from Amon.
Yeah.
And I now have an affinity for Amon Jordan after going there. It was cool to walk in and see. There was two things, and we'll get into the second thing. But the first thing was the picture hanging on the wall of Amon, and I was like, yo, now this was really cool. This is the first place I've been outside of the country and over the seas. I should say I've been to the Bahamas.
Over the seas,
yeah. Right. It's more than one over there. It's more than one over there. But yeah, it's dope, man. Like to see that, like it was just like I remember being in Amon Jordan, then like actually being there. So and then the next thing we'll talk about. And a few, but the food.
So he really wanted to bring very Jordanian flavors to this. So there's a lot of parsley, lemon, garlic, coriander, summa, all of the seasonings that are very traditional to our food. And he makes, I want to start with the smallest items and then move up, if that's okay.
Let's get it.
All right.
Shoot.
So we ordered a couple different things, but the one thing that stands out for me are sauces. I feel like everything, I've said this before, everything I eat is a vessel for a sauce. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to eat dry shit. I want to eat something, and it can be any kind of sauce. I'm not talking like ranch. You know what I mean? Like, it could literally be any kind of sauce or reduction or something. I need a sauce. And I don't know why. It's just like maybe it's a mental illness.
Yeah, no, mental illness. No, you like sauce.
I do. I love sauce. Yeah. So I'm going to start off with the French fries because the French fries are perfectly crispy on the outside.
Yeah, them French fries was slapping.
Perfectly fluffy on the inside.
The color, the
golden.
The what was it? How they look, and like they look uniform. I don't know how to say it. Like some fries be like all raggedy looking, and they not bad. They just be raggedy. You know what I mean?
The raggedy ones are
also fire. Those might be the best ones.
The ones that come in a pizza puff bag.
And then be sloppy and just right with extra pieces hanging off them. Those are slapping. These were uniform, but they were so good,
amazing,
man. Like
and so. In order to eat the fries, I needed multiple sauces. So here are the sauces that we got. We got the parsley sauce, which think of like a chimichurri, basically, right? I would say it's very similar to a chimichurri, but more parsley dense.
Y'all want me talking about no parsley?
No, but because your opinion is wrong. That's why they don't care to hear from about your opinion about parsley. But I think it's wonderful. It is really made to go in the sandwiches. So it goes in like the falafel sandwich and stuff like that. You can order it as a side sauce, and I'm unhinged, so I did. But it's really meant to be like in a sandwich. The next thing we got was the red chili sauce, which I would say it's like shatta, if you know what that is. It's like our version of a hot sauce, but our hot sauce is more texture to it. It's not as smooth and it's not vinegary. It has more of like a roasted flavor, and this one definitely has roasted bell peppers in it. You can taste them.
It was very good, and I like shatta. I do. I really like it. I like it. I think I like it more with like the rice and the kebab.
1,000%.
And I know I'm kind of foreshadowing here, but I have a new favorite now. I think, and it is the third sauce that you're about to name, whatever that is.
So the next sauce is the red tahini ranch. And if you don't know what red tahini is, or if you don't know what tahini is to begin with, tahini is sesame seeds that have been roasted and then kind of emulsified with an oil to make it's kind of like, think of like peanut butter, but the sesame version of peanut butter. But it's not sweet. And so in order to make red tahini, you just roast the sesame seeds longer until they're brown. You have to like keep your eye on them because they burn fairly quickly, but you roast them for longer and then you add the oil and then it just turns into red tahini. So it has a kind of like a toasty, nutty flavor to it more than the... You just any word that got nut or dick or penis
what?
or anything in it, you're like, that's the one.
I would never.
You said, but yeah, I mean, you don't even like ranch.
No, I do. I like ranch on like chicken wings for sure. Like sure. I do chicken wings. You know, now obviously I can eat the chicken wing without no damn ranch. I don't need that. But I mean, it is good. It is good. This though, with the slight spice to it, nice little flavor to it.
Yeah,
that was good, and that went very well.
Yeah.
With the fries.
Yeah.
I mean,
super
well with the fries. It was almost like it was made for.
Right.
Like,
and you can tell that the ranch is homemade because it's like the texture of it is buttermilky.
Yeah, I need
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, I need
It's
that.
not like mayo.
Yeah, right.
It's more like buttermilk.
Yeah, it's
so
that- it's
you
that
can
homemade.
tell that it's like homemade.
Shoot, them fries they feel like they was homemade.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know how you got them that
don't
perfect,
know.
Dan. We on first name basis. Dan, if you listen to this, hey, because I'm about to gas you up with this burger.
I know.
Because let's.
We have one more sauce.
Damn, how many sauces do we have?
4.
Shit.
The last one.
I had
is the
3.
za'atar mayo.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was
good.
good.
Amazing.
Because you have to like za'atar.
For all of you that say no, it's not. Just think of it as za'atar aioli.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. You have to if you that flavor
so good.
is fantastic, and then it's just.
And if you don't know what za'atar is basically dried thyme with sesame seeds and suma and olive oil.
Yeah, it's fire, boy. You
So-
get. Is it just me? Is when it's clumped together? Ooh,
So good. It's a little tangy.
It is and like a lot of spice right there. I forgot we had that sauce. That sauce was good.
Yeah,
I just
amazing.
It just once I hit that tahini, it was.
I know.
It was lights out for your boy.
Yeah.
I'm anxious. I'm like
You
a dog waiting on the leash.
Let's talk about what you got.
Burger.
You got the double Dan.
I got the double Dan
cheeseburger.
Hey, so
it's-
I got the double Dan. It's 2 patties, but I got cheese and added bacon on it.
Correct.
Let me tell you something, y'all. Chicago, mess with me. Tourists, mess with me for a second. If you come here, go to Ragadan, order what I just did, your life will be changed.
Yeah. Did you know that it also has za'atar mayo on it?
It's got something on it to make it taste that good.
Yeah.
I want to speak to Dan real quick. Because I don't know if you understand how fired this burger is, y'all. I'm telling you, and I think it is not getting a lot of play in the city. I have not seen it too much around anywhere.
It's getting
Is it
ranks.
getting spans?
It's getting ranks. It's
Okay,
getting ranks.
good. Because it need to.
I would skip your River North locations and just head straight to Uptown.
I honestly, would head over to your river. What is it, River West or is it River North? With the Not a Damn Chance burger. But don't forget that one. That one might be the king of the city. We're not talking about that one. We talk about this one because this one right here, buttery. You could bite right through it. The bacon was perfect. The cheese was just all over the place. The sauce, oh my goodness,
Amazing,
and a decent size.
It's hefty.
Size.
It's hefty.
Yes, y'all, this might be one of the best burgers in the city.
I think so. I would say it's
so.
really it's genuinely really good.
And that's tough, man, because there's a lot of burgers.
You know what else makes it really good?
What?
And I know you might not agree with this, but the kind of pickles that they use. So they're like, we eat them a lot. They're like skinnier pickles, like super super skinny. Think of like baby carrots.
Yeah.
That's literally what they look
I'm
like.
gonna keep it buck with you.
You said fuck a pickle.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Literally,
honestly, no, the pickle was good. I mean, it was good, but like it was so second fiddle. I mean, as the burger as a whole was just still in the show. Like
that was a second fiddle.
I don't know. Like people know. Shoot, that's American thing.
That's racist.
No, I ain't racist. I ain't got no time to explain it.
Wow. We literally have all the time.
No, but it's fire. Like it was. Y'all, I can't say enough good things about this burger. And there's a shit ton of burgers. I know people out there be like, man, but how? How can you say this about a burger? You know, there's so many different burgers. Look, if y'all don't know by now, I like them sloppy ass burgers. You know, with the taste. I'm not going for no gourmet. Now I am gonna go for that if it's good. Now
you just don't like a fried egg on your burger.
With that, yeah, I can't get with that fried egg shit.
But you know what else? The bacon that was on that burger, it's like thick cut bacon.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like this burger had it.
Like it was just really.
This
good.
burger had it all. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
Like
I loved it.
Okay, and then moving on.
I loved it. It was really good. Next, I got the falafel ka'ak. Ka'ak is a special kind of bread that kind of looks like a bolillo. It looks like a bolillo. Like, you know those Mexican sandwich bread?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Did I just ruin your?
Google kayak, which is KA'AK.
I'm glad you spelled that.
Okay.
Hold on. How you spell it?
KA
apostrophe
A K. Kayak.
Okay.
Okay. And it's super like it's a little crunchy on the outside, it's super fluffy on the inside. It's that kind of bread. And I asked for like a little modification. So here's what I did. I got the falafel kayak with all of its things. But I added, instead of regular falafel, I got the stuffed falafel, which they stuff their falafel with sumac and caramelized onions. And it was amazing. It was traditionally, good. Caramelized onions and sumac go with chicken in a dish that we, like a Palestinian dish that we make, is called msakhan, which you've had before. And so they take the onions and the sumac and they stuff it into the falafel mix. And then, oh my God, it is so good.
It was good.
It was genuinely amazing.
It was like it was just different from, you know what I mean? Like, as if you're trying to spin on, Middle Eastern food.
Sandwich.
Yeah, right. That's a dope spin.
Yeah.
Fun fact here, real quick. That is common for the Arabic word biscuit.
Oh yeah. Did you know? So did you know that the origin of a bagel comes from kayak, which is Middle Eastern?
Did not know that.
Yeah, someone did a study on like the origins of a bagel, and it starts in the Middle East.
Syria.
Yep.
Syria.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they make these like round kayaks with a hole in the middle. So the kayak has different shapes. It's really just like the dough and how it's like crunchy on. Think of like a bagel, a little crunchy on the outside,
it looked like
soft on the inside. Yeah.
Looked like it looked like
and
that.
Damascus is the oldest city in the world, so there you go.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Well, oldest still around city.
Right. But then lastly, not lastly, we had one more.
We had a couple more things. The next thing we had was the fried chicken sandwich.
Oh, y'all. Okay, so here, I got to give you a preamble to this one, because y'all probably thinking like, bro, it's a chicken sandwich. Not just any chicken sandwich. So when I was over in Jordan, I think we were in Aqaba, right? Where I had McDonald's.
Yes.
First time I ever had McDonald's outside the country.
Yeah.
Right? And they had this thing on the menu. It was a Big Mac, a chicken Big Mac, a crispy chicken Big Mac.
Right. Not to be confused with a flimsy ass chicken sandwich.
Yeah, not the chicken that we get here, not the McChicken. No, crispy chicken, crispy chicken Big Mac. Mm-hmm. It was one of the best things I had ever had, especially at a McDonald's.
Yeah,
it was so good. I had a backup plan, so I had the regular Big Mac,
right,
and then I had that as a backup because I'm like, I don't know, you know what I mean, like just in case, brother's still hungry, But it was fire. Fast forward to right now, when we had this, it was the same damn thing.
Right.
You can't get that over here in America.
Yeah, and
except for there.
Don't get it confused, because like it's not like a KFC fried chicken sandwich, right?
No,
it's more of like, it's not a patty, but it's damn near a patty.
Right. It is. I mean, fire. The sauce on it, everything is fire.
The sauce on it was the tahini ranch.
That's why, Dan. Going for you.
Yeah.
That's a mixture.
And it comes with, shredded lettuce and pickles.
Oh my goodness, y'all. It was fire. Yeah,
it was really good.
Honestly, if you want to taste, and this is a life hack. If you want to taste what the double what is it? Big Mac? A Big Mac chicken Big Mac is like over in the Middle East, go to Ragadan,
try the
chicken sandwich, and I wonder if he could make it a double.
I'm sure
because that sandwich we ate that so quick. It's almost like, man,
I know.
I don't like sharing.
I had one bite of that sandwich.
That's sharing still.
And I had two bites of your burger.
That's still sharing. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I want it all.
Dario really shuts down the like romantic idea of like, if you love someone, nothing else matters.
What?
No,
this ain't no Lady in the Tramp shit. The spaghetti and they did them kissing. No, man, look. Hey, we ordered 2 plates of spaghetti. Now, I can show I love you somewhere else.
How?
I love you. Like, see, look.
Bare minimum, ladies and gentlemen.
Just told thousands of people. That's love.
is that?
That's real love. That's real love.
That is.
Anyway, no, but it was good, y'all. Is what I'm trying to say. It was very good. If you are going and you just want to pick up something, it's worth a couple trips because both of the sandwiches together, gluttony. You shouldn't do it, but leave that to us. Leave that to us.
Yeah.
But you flip a coin. Flip a coin. Get whatever you get that day, and then the next day go back and get the other one because you will not be disappointed.
Correct.
At all. Last thing.
Last thing I got was a halawe blueberry milkshake with pistachios. Okay. I don't know how to begin to explain this.
Go crazy.
But so halawe, let me actually look what is in, or it's called in English, I guess it's called halva. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I guess it's also Greek. So maybe if you are Greek, you know it. But it's kind of like a I don't even know how to describe it, but it's
milkshake.
It's like a thick paste. No, the halva itself is like a thick paste that is very, very sweet. You don't normally eat it by yourself. You eat it with other things. Sometimes people eat it with like pomegranate molasses or something. It's like we eat it during breakfast with like a little bit of pita bread and pomegranate molasses. But the way he did it here was vanilla ice cream with the halva and blueberries, fresh blueberries, or a blueberry mix with the halva, and a sprinkle of pistachios on top.
Oh.
It was literally
went crazy.
One of the best things I've had.
What's crazy is
in terms of milkshakes.
Yeah, it's very good, right? It was very good.
Yeah.
By the time I got to that, I was full, but it was. Didn't you get it specially made though too? He added.
I did. So it was like on their specials menu because I wanted that. I wanted the halva blueberry hand pie, and I also wanted the baklava milkshake. And he was like, actually, I can make the milkshake with the blueberry halva instead of the baklava. And I said, let's do that.
Dan was going crazy.
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah, he went off. He went completely off. But honestly, like to go that off.
Yeah.
For on a regular day, bro, what are you doing? What's on your heart that you just got to go that hard with the food?
Yeah.
Like that's like that food is so good.
Crazy.
Like that's crazy.
Actually, I have a better description of what halva is. It's a paste made from flour, butter, liquid oil, saffron, rose water, milk, and cocoa powder, and sweetened with sugar. And it usually looks like marble. So
what is saffron?
What's saffron?
No,
I already had this conversation.
All right, that is the thing that I said probably is overrated, right?
Yes.
That's the one Ms. Londa was.
Yeah, it was
Ms. Londa came in.
She said she wanted to jump through the phone.
She did.
Let's not do that conversation again.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just saying, saffron probably didn't contribute to the project. To the group project.
Actually, New York Times says halva is made from sesame paste.
Oh.
I've never made it from scratch, so I don't know, but we eat it a lot.
Yep.
It's delicious.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Okay.
Don't bother making that shit at home. Just go to your Arabic store and get it. It's literally so cheap.
We didn't talk about this. My favorite orange drink.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of my favorite orange drinks, y'all.
Yes.
So over in Amman, they had this drink called Miranda.
I'm so surprised you don't have it here. I feel like...
Right. What is going on? America, we need to get with it. Import this. Let me tell you.
I'm sure they do.
It got to be somewhere. When I tell you, so this orange pop is really just orange pop, right?
It is.
It's just orange pop, but it's like a slightly different flavor, like than the other. It's not nearly as hard as like say a Crush,
right?
Or Fanta, which Fanta might be at the bottom of my list. Like Fanta can kiss my ass. Like whenever somebody be like, no, we don't have orange high C, we only got Fanta. I'd be like, you know what? I beat and I'm just like, yo, that's crazy.
Who owns Fanta? Is it
Coke,
Pepsi?
Pepsi, I think Pepsi need to do. Fanta tastes too much like Pepsi. That's the problem. Anyway,
Did you
we
know?
talking about Miranda.
Oh,
I
was gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
Nothing.
Miranda, it's good. It's here. It's at Ragadan, and. Ooh, I had 2 bottles. I put one back before the food even came, and then I had the other one halfway through the food that I had.
Yeah,
so I was thirsty by the end of it.
So actually, Pepsi owns Miranda.
What? And why is it not here?
I don't know.
Oh, damn, my bad,
also,
Pepsi.
They also own Crush.
Oh, I knew that. But they do that, right? They Fanta just.
Oh, Walmart has Miranda.
Stop it.
But it's not Jordanian Miranda. The Miranda he has is Jordanian.
Yeah, right. That's the difference.
It's like Mexican Coke. It's different.
It's different. It's just different. I would like to get a bottle from Ragadan and from
try them out. And the bottles he serves are glass.
Yeah, they're glass.
Those glass bottles. You know that should hit different.
They really do hit different. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I'm so glad that I remember before we got out of this episode.
Oh, we weren't gonna get out before talking about it. I had it.
Oh, you had it. You had it down. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Get you one that got your back. See, look at me showing love
that
again.
He doesn't want to share food with.
That's different. That's whole different. That's different.
How?
That's different.
How?
That ain't got nothing to do with love.
That literally has to do with
No, it don't.
Yeah.
I love you enough to get another plate.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll take that.
Yeah. Look.
For what?
Hey, that was a good one.
For what?
That was a good one.
What was a good one?
That love.
Look at you. Bare minimum.
Love.
All right, let's stop that there.
So many things.
If you guys liked this episode up until this moment, please send it to someone you like. If you did not like this episode because Dario is singing and not playing the outro music,
oh, my bad. There it is.
Try again next week. Shit, I don't know.
That was the outro music.
We actually will still be in Uptown for next week's episode.
Hey.
So, you know.
Because we got a special month coming up.
Yeah.
We don't talk about how hard this song is. This shit go crazy.
It does, doesn't it?
Got your boy out here twerking in the seat.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll see y'all next week.
Deuces.
Peace. Bye. No, bye.
You're still recording.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed that. Please follow us on all social media at 77 Flavors Shy. And if you have any ideas and things you want to learn about, please email us at media@77flavorsshy.com.
Yeah, and if you could, also head on over to our YouTube channel, same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, and give us a follow, give us a like, and give us a good rating there. Make some comments.
Only
Go ahead and
if you
subscribe.
like it.
We love y'all. See you next week.